Good day everybody, my name is Awesomecrunch and welcome back to more Subnautica news. Now, it has been a while, but there has recently been quite a big splurge of concept arts being released for the Subnautica Arctic DLC. Now, whether that's just because they're trying to build the hype towards it, or whether they're just getting like loads now and then there'll be a silence for ages until it actually releases, I don't know how they're doing it. But for the moment, it seems like they're kind of ramping up the releases of these concept arts. We've had like 3 in the past week or 2, so they're coming out pretty quickly. Now, this one is not actually created by Corey Strader, who I think has done all of the other ones. So this one is from Dima Pertzula, who's from Fox 3D, which are the guys that do the 3D models for certain creatures in the game. They have that Sketchfab website, things like that. They've done all of that stuff, and now they're doing this kind of 2D concept art, which looks really cool. So we're going to be going through the main points of this concept art. Now, Abraxas has specifically said that the art may change, and most importantly that the player will be a female protagonist. Obviously from this picture you can tell from the back that it is a male protagonist. So that is obviously going to change, and obviously all of the rest of it is subject to change, but there are a couple of interesting points that I'd just like to make. So if you look towards the far background, you can see these kind of bird things. Now they look a lot like the big birds, the things in the early access trailer that was released right as Subnautica was being launched at the very beginning into early access. It looks like the birds in that were never introduced. I think they had animations done for them. I don't know if they had sounds, but I'm pretty sure they had animations done for them, and they had a model done for them as well, but they were never implemented into the game. And these birds here do look a lot like that bird. So whether we could see that bird implemented into the Arctic DLC, I don't know, but it would be a really cool bird to see because it's a really big bird. It looks great. Let me know what you think about seeing that type of big bird in the game. I've wanted it for a long time, so whether it will be in the Arctic biome, I have no idea, because obviously it's subject to change, but we'll just see how it goes. So obviously the other main bit is these kind of weird honeycomb shaped whole weird mushroom. They kind of remind me of mushrooms, so I don't really know why. Something about them, maybe it's just the way they look, but they look really cool, and obviously that's some sort of flora that we've never seen in the game before. It doesn't really resemble anything that we've seen in the game, and as you can see, it looks like they're kind of bursting through the ice. Maybe they're a distant relative of the anchor pods that you see in the deep Grand Reef, or just the Grand Reef as a whole. Maybe they're relatives of them, I have no idea, but they seem to be bursting upwards rather than downwards, or perhaps they start at the top and root downwards. I can't really tell by the ones on the side, but either way it looks interesting. Also, Mobius asked Abraxas whether there will be parts where the water is frozen over, maybe transparent to see below, and he said that it was not out of the question, which is pretty cool because obviously that would be really awesome to see. Obviously the main thing you get from this is a big Arctic landscape. There's a big step of ice, like a big shelf that's actually taller than the player by quite a large amount. There's also some water, or maybe some thin ice over there to the left. I can't tell exactly what that is, but obviously that's showing that there's going to be different levels above water and below water, which we've already had confirmation of anyway through different concept arts. And there's also some interestingly shaped kind of ice sculpture looking things that kind of look a bit like pickaxes. Don't really know what that shape is, but they just look really cool. With some cliffs in the background, I'm guessing that is. But something's giving me the impression that these things are bursting through the floor, just the way the ice is shaped around them, stuff like that. I'm guessing they're bursting through, but obviously this is all subject to change. These things may never see the light of day in the game. Now, there was the other week some concept art released for the Twisty Bridges biome, which has been covered by a few guys, but I never actually got around to covering, so here it is if you didn't see it for whatever reason. And so far, the concept art that we've had for the Arctic biome is this, which is the Arctic trenches, which I also haven't shown you, but you've probably seen already, with a Cyclops, but it was made clear that the Cyclops will not be in the expansion. So that's kind of, again, another thing that will change, but it's also some really cool concept art, and then there's also, of course, the first one that we saw with the massive Leviathan thing at the bottom. So it's looking really cool. That's all we've got so far, along with some creatures made by Alex, but that's about it so far. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it here, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you're feeling really generous, subscribe to Crunchy's Day. But until next one, I'll see you guys in the next one. Try, my friends.